wanted to do a really quick leaning update since you guys know I'm leaning. I am no longer at odds about it. I used to really not like it. I told you guys a lot, like, I totally hate this whole leaning process because I don't like to see myself smaller, but now that muscle is being revealed, not too much excess fat, the cellulite is really improving, makes me a bit happier. So I'm embracing it now. I like it now. So just a quick physique update. Now we gotta go and get this leg day in. that I count reps, and that's because I'm working each leg individually and I don't want muscle differences. The last time I said this, I had people confused and saying like, well, that's why you should always count reps, so you don't get muscle differences. But if you're using both legs at the same time, you can't really get muscle differences whether you count or don't count. It's the same thing, except one is allowing you to make sure you push all the way max till failure. But saying this, it is also good to count reps if you're tracking them. If you're writing down your reps and beating them, that's a positive thing as well. But if you're not writing down your reps and you're always hitting 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, you're robbing yourself of a really good workout. That was the point I was trying to make when I said I didn't count reps. I have done counting reps and had a little notebook and writing them, and always, every time I work out, try to beat those reps or try to increase weight. But just to clear that up for you guys. Weights fool you. I'm using 25s for deadlifts, but I use two 25s as opposed to using the 45, simply to get a better range of motion. I get to go deeper. I feel the stretch more. A lot of people tend to put big weights on them, and the shorter you are, the less range of motion you get. So you probably want to not use those big old plates, as you can see there, and start using smaller plates, and you can just add them up. Like if I want to add another 25, I can keep adding more 25s. But as you'll see in a second, you can go much lower and really get that stretch going. intense. My booty's on fire. It's actually yelling at me for sitting on it right now. It was a really good workout. So as you guys saw, I just showed you guys a couple good booty workouts isolated as well as compound workouts. It's good to combine both of these. You do want to gain strength elsewhere and incorporate more muscles, not just the glutes. And you're gonna see a lot of these videos all over YouTube. They're pretty popular because every girl wants to grow her glutes. Who doesn't? The only thing that they fail to mention is eating towards your goals. You can do as many of these workouts as you want, but if what you're doing is not aligned with what your goals are, you're not gonna see that progress. Working your booty and eating at a deficit, you're gonna tone it up nicely. You'll lose some cellulite, you'll lose some size. Keep this in mind, this is very important. If you eat towards maintenance, you can just mold and shape your booty nice if you don't really have a lot of excess fat. And if you eat at a surplus, you can gain in size. But if you're not eating towards your goals and you're doing these workouts, you could be doing the opposite of what you're trying to achieve. So this is a very important detail that a lot of these videos miss to tell you. It is important to isolate the glutes if that's what you want to grow, but it's also important to know if you should be eating at a deficit or if you should be eating at a surplus. Now also what's important is knowing what you need to do personally. Because if you do eat at a surplus, keep in mind this is considered bulking, which means that you may gain, well, you will gain excess fat in other places. So if you are already a little bit overweight, but you're so stuck on gaining a butt, unfortunately, you're gonna have to lean down first before worrying about building up your glutes. This is very important for two reasons. One, you don't know what you have under that excess fat. I've seen girls who their butts kind of look flat, they are overweight, but as they're working out and weightlifting and burning fat, their butt is starting to round out. They may never need to bulk, and trust me, if you can get around bulking, do it, because it is not an easy journey. And then the other thing is that you do gain excess fat, you do gain cellulite, you do need to lean and maybe do multiple bulks, which does take a lot of time. Keep this in mind. Growing a butt sounds so fun when you think about it. Oh, I'm gonna eat a little more and grow a butt, but then people are like, well, what's happening to my stomach? And why am I getting cellulite? And why do I feel like I'm 6 months pregnant? These are all part of the bulking symptoms. I do have, I believe, 2 or 3 videos out there talking about what happens during a bulk, and then also how a bulk works, what you have to do in order to actually be bulking. So I would recommend watching those videos. So a quick tip, if you have problem areas, work on those problem areas first before considering bulking. The less fat you have on you when you go into a bulk, the easier the bulk will be mentally and physically, and the leaning down process will also be easier. And if you're eating at a deficit, expect your booty to tone down, lose a little bit of size. It's gonna clear up, there's gonna be less cellulite, it'll get perkier, but don't expect to gain in size or, you know, go up a pant size. That's not gonna happen. And if you're eating at a severe deficit, know that you may not make any muscle gains. You're not gonna tone up your butt. It's never gonna improve because you're not feeding your body enough to perform properly and build some lean muscle. You can build lean muscle during a deficit at fat loss, but if you're severely under eating, your body cannot grow muscle. So these workouts are all super amazing. It just matters if you're working towards your goals by eating towards your goals. And there's fat loss, there's maintaining, and there's bulking. They all sound fun, they all sound pretty easy because they're just a word, but they all have their ups and downs, and they all take time. And maintenance may seem like, you know, that's a great place to be, but honestly, maintenance are for people who you've already achieved your body. You don't want to keep eating at a deficit, you don't want to eat at a surplus, you just want to literally maintain that body, that physique. And now fat loss, where you're losing weight, you're burning fat and getting smaller in size, some people don't want this necessarily, but they need to go down this route. So it's gonna be uncomfortable, just like me when I had to lean down. I needed to lean down because my midsection was bigger, I was retaining fat there, my triceps, I gained a lot of, I retained excess fat there, so I had to lean down. But during the process, I knew my legs were gonna lean down, my butt was gonna lean down, and that's where I was kind of like, oh, I don't want to do this. But you gotta do what you gotta do in order to reach your goal. Sometimes you can't skip, just like somebody who's overweight can't just skip to having a butt and a small waist. They need to go through a process of leaning and then gaining. And then bulking, I don't need to tell you, it is not an easy journey. It's very difficult. The perks of it is that you get stronger, and it's fun to challenge yourself in the gym. I was a beast in the gym while bulking. I was so strong, I had so much energy, which is really fun. But the food babies and the cellulite and the excess fat, that's not fun. So every journey is difficult. So bottom line, just make sure that your nutrition is set around your goals. You're taking the right steps forward to get you there. Don't waste your time doing something that's not gonna happen. People that eat at a deficit thinking their butt is gonna grow doesn't happen. People that eat at a surplus want their butt to grow but their waist to lean, it's not gonna happen. So make sure you're taking the right steps. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell for notifications. And until tomorrow, bye guys.